Wanted to get your thoughts on Mark Carney and your relationship with him while you were Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and any advice you have to Canadians who think he might make a good Prime Minister.
Well, Mark Carney was Governor of the Bank of England, and under his tenure, too much money was printed, which did damage to the British economy and put our economy off track. He, at the last election, endorsed Rachel Reeves' economic policy. She's now become Chancellor. It's been a disaster for Britain. The country is heading for bankruptcy.
How would you characterize the reaction of Canadians to the tariff threat, to the 51st state annexation talk? And is this a fundamental change in how Canadians view not just Mr. Trump, but the United States? Have things changed permanently?
Well, I would hope it's not permanent, but it has been a very difficult time, I'd say, for Canadians. And I have been traveling around and have had very broad range of conversations with Canadians from coast to coast to coast. And I would characterize the reaction as, I think I mentioned in my remarks, initially one of confusion and bewilderment. Why is this joke that wasn't funny to begin with continually being made? Secondly, anger. I mean, it's insulting. It's an insult. We are a proud sovereign country, and now that's moving to resolve. I would say, okay, you've changed, you changed your priorities. We have our own priorities, and we'll move forward. So that resolve allows for continuing, close relationships in certain areas, but it does reinforce, I think, for Canadians, a real enthusiasm and energy to get on with things on our terms, because we don't want to wake up every morning and check X and Truth Social to find out how our country is being affected.
Not this time. We created it. Not this time.
No. We'll wake up. We'll listen to Rusty on the local radio station, right? We'll listen to the CBC, Radio Canada, CTV, Global.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
In trouble because I should list everybody, but please send in your complaints. But take things on our terms, those messages have set in. And I'll say one other thing, which is the president has his priorities, and I want to commend his focus on fentanyl. It's a crisis in the United States. It's a challenge here in Canada. But the importance of working together on those issues, absolutely respect that, and it's important that we've made progress, and we have to deliver on that progress. But what has been striking, I think, to Canadians is that the attitude that he's expressed in terms of our sovereignty hasn't really been challenged more broadly in the U.S.
And on tariffs too, I mean, does Canada have champions now in the United States, or does
I think there is. Look, I'll make an observation. I'm reasonably familiar with a broad swath of U.S. business leaders in many industries. There's a number of things that this administration is pursuing that those business leaders disagree with fundamentally, but they're not talking about it. And their expectation is that eventually the financial markets will wake up to the very real challenges that these measures are going to cause the U.S. economy. You can't suspend the law of economics. I've seen this movie before in Brexit.
Well, Mark Carney was Governor of the Bank of England, and under his tenure, too much money was printed, which did damage to the British economy and put our economy off track. He, at the last election, endorsed Rachel Reeves' economic policy. She's now become Chancellor. It's been a disaster for Britain. The country is heading for bankruptcy.
Where steps are taken, it takes a while for the economic effect to come, but it comes. The impact of tariffs will cause inflation. Inflation will cause higher interest rates.